Wambui Kaberia.
Andrew Mutiso.
Jean Kiraka.
This is basically our channel. Our channel is meant at addressing some legal issues in Kenya. It is basically a channel wherein we will give you basic information about legal matters that you go through day to day.
So yeah, as she said, it's more of creating the legal awareness. We noticed even if we have forums, we have organizations that do the same, they don't reach every Kenyan that is out there. In fact, it's only small population that gets to know about it, and that is more so in Nairobi. And what about those people in other towns or in other jurisdictions where probably that is not available? So we thought it is the best forum that is online to start this legal awareness thing.
So we decided to come up with a channel to talk about legal issues and what people face on a day-to-day. And we are not only on YouTube, we are hoping to start our website soon. By the time this blog is up, I'm sure the website will be up and running. So in case we talk about something during this channel, you can go back to the website, see what we've talked about, having written it down, and get more information about what your issues are all about. So today we'll be talking about
the introduction of the channel. We just want you to know us, what we are doing. So you might be asking yourselves, why would we need the legal awareness?
And who are we? Because some people may be saying, sasa huyu ni Mkenya mwingine anakuja kutupea advice, who are they? Are they qualified? You get me? Yeah.
So we are lawyers by profession.
Yeah, we are lawyers.
We have undergone the training at campus and also at the Kenya School of Law. So we are qualified as it is to tell you what we are telling you. We are not telling you from a point of
ignorance or
of
having just read in the internet and then we come back and reiterate what is in the internet. No.
However, you will note that whatever we tell you here is not an in-depth process of what should be done in every legal matter or every legal instance. So basically, our information is on top of it. So at the end of the day, you know what you need at the back of your mind. But you will have to contact an advocate for an advocate to help you out with certain processes.
Yeah, so it's just the basic knowledge. We want you to get a grasp of what happens in the legal system. More so the procedures, like when you're arrested, what happens next. The legal terms, you have had people say, hey, these people are speaking big words into me, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, we just want you to know, if you are taken to court, how do you behave in court? If you are faced with another legal issue, let's say you are selling land, how do you contact it? So that's basic information and knowledge is what we want to pass it on. We are not lecturing law, so don't expect to be a qualified lawyer.
We are law enthusiasts. You can't find people starting channels if we don't love law.
Yeah,
especially
also to help people.
Yeah,
like,
we love helping people.
Most advocates will sit back at their offices, and whether you come to them or not,
it's all about the money, you know.
Yeah.
It's up to you to seek advice whenever you are faced with an issue. So the other thing we might be also looking at that is of your concern would be why do we need this awareness as citizens? Or rather, you've never gotten the interest to know law. Maybe you've not interacted with it firsthand. You just hear people being arrested, people buying land, but it has never been personal to you. So why would you need this awareness? That is a question you might be asking yourself. So we thought of it in that aspect, and we compiled several aspects where you might face or you might interact with law. One might be the family aspect.
In the family aspect, you will want to get married. You will want to know what are the processes, what are the requirements for me to conduct either a civil marriage, a Hindu marriage, a customary marriage, Muslim marriage. So you would want to know what are the requirements, what is required of me, who do I visit, how do I begin the process of registering my marriage. Secondly, you would want to adopt a child. You would want to know how do I go about the process of identification and adoption of a child. You would also want to know if, for instance, if you're going through a succession matter, you'd want to know what happens to the property of a deceased person. When somebody dies, what is the process of somebody else taking up the
In
property.
fact, most of us, they don't know, like, if someone close to you happens to pass away, we don't know what. In fact, we are more concerned about the grief. We are grieved, we don't know what will happen with the property, and most of the times relatives or people close to us take advantage of that.
Yeah.
They come, grab,
Yeah.
someone takes the car away, someone takes the title deed.
Yeah, for
So by
example,
the
do
time,
you remember the Wamalwa case?
yeah,
You remember?
yeah,
The children were complaining that their relatives were coming to take their property, whatnot.
They are dropping
Yeah.
out of school.
Mm.
It's just the same issue. If they knew, they had a bit of knowledge in terms of succession, they would have gone to court and maybe secured some documents in terms of letters of administration that would have helped them as the administrators of the estate, in that no one would now intermeddle with their father's estate. So that's what we are doing basically, and it touches on almost everything.
Yeah,
in
we'll try
family
our
law,
best, yeah.
as she said, there is issues to do with marriage, children, child maintenance, with divorce, everything and anything. Another aspect is criminal aspect.
So in the criminal aspect, many people are arrested, and most of the times these criminal cases, for example, murder, people don't know that the state should provide for them an advocate. It's provided in case you're not capable to hire your own advocate. So those are some of the issues we'll be talking about.
Offenses.
The capital offenses. The people who are charged with robbery with violence, you find that they are representing themselves, yet they are the highest sentence
And
is
also
death.
what is robbery with
Yeah.
violence.
Yes.
What is robbery with violence, what is robbery on its own standing. So we'll be talking about that also, many of the criminal cases, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Most people don't even know that you can just, a police officer can't just arrest you unless he's actually saying that you have committed a felony which is an offense. So if you are arrested and you're told that you do not have identification documents on you, you have 24 hours to produce the said identification documents to the nearest police station. So most people don't know that that is actually provided for in the Constitution.
So yeah, as my colleagues are saying, we'll be talking more of arrest. That is something almost everyone encounters.
Yeah.
Like you'll be arrested for no reason, for some
Especially
funny
on
mistakes.
Friday.
Especially, so that you can stay in the cells
In the
until
cells
Monday.
until Monday, you don't
Or
know.
maybe
what's
now
happening.
that you can give a bribe, you might be now motivated to give a bribe. So
And
that
even if you're arrested on Friday, you're entitled for police bond.
Yeah.
So those are the issues we'll be we'll be talking about. What you can do once you're arrested. Don't panic. Don't give out bribes. You will be now armed with the knowledge.
Yeah, you
Like
can
you
just
can demand.
you can just say, let me just look at my YouTube channel. There's something I want to check very fast.
Yeah. So in the criminal aspect, we'll also touch on the other processes, that when you go to court, what happens, how do you take a plea. And please note that criminal matters are as the state against you. So these stories we hear, people have gone to mediate, someone has been raped, someone has been killed, then the families go behind, now under closed doors,
To
they
get to
mediate,
agreement.
they do their own out-of-court settlement. That is not, no, it's not allowed in the current system, because once you commit a criminal offense, it is the state versus you. You have wronged the state. So you are supposed to be punished through the state mechanisms that are there.
True.
That is, go for a trial, get acquitted if there's no evidence, get convicted if the evidence is strong against you, then go and serve your term or pay the fine. So that is more of what we'll be talking about, the criminal. Another thing that we thought is of great concern to every Kenyan or citizen is the issue of conveyancing.
So conveyancing, it entails purchase of land. What is the first step when I want to purchase property? I have identified a certain parcel of land in Ruiru. What is the first step I should take? Should I first of all conduct the search? Where am I conducting the search? It depends. Basically, for instance, in this case, if I am buying land from X and X Limited, the first thing I would be checking is, first of all, is X and X Limited existent? Is it a company under the Register of Companies? Has it been registered as a company? What are who can actually act on behalf of X and X in regards to the sale of the land? If I'm buying it from an individual, does this property actually belong to this individual? You do a search at lands, an official search. at the end of the day, the official search, if there is any issue, will give you power to say that I actually did a search, and that the search gave me that this is the owner of this property. We've had issues where people are owning land, 2 people, 10 people own the same parcel of
With a
land
valid title.
with valid titles. Now, if you do not have that official search, for instance, if X doesn't have the official search and Y has the official search, then X is at a disadvantage.
So that's it, and what they are talking about is what we call, in short, due diligence. You have to know if you want to purchase land, then what do? You just don't hear of these brokers. They tell you, I have some good land, it's near the river, then
Ready
you never
titles,
visited.
you usually hear we have ready
And
titles.
also you have to, also one other thing that you have to do is actually check if this land that you're being sold for is at a reserve, a public reserve.
Yeah.
You know, you might be buying land that is actually a road somewhere.
Riparian land.
Yeah, you might be buying riparian land. You might be buying riparian land. You might be buying land that is
Gamia one,
yes.
land that is reserved for mining of oil.
Yeah.
So that is basically what we'll be teaching about, what is due diligence is all about. And it entails many things, not just an official search. Suppose it's a company selling you the land. You know, we want to know whether this company exists. So where do you go?
Yeah.
How do you find out such information? And also, after now doing the due diligence, what happens next? Yes, you have understood that step, but what happens after that? You also have to draw the necessary documents.
Yes.
That is the sale agreement. This is now where we encourage you to seek the services of a lawyer.
Advocate.
Yes, we know there are these dealings that go on everywhere. People want just to do chinyamaji dealings. Let's do this thing. Sign this agreement. And they always come with us. An agreement, I don't know from where. It is well drafted. But do you ever even read that agreement? Do you know your interest? Do you know how you can protect yourself in such agreements?
Most of the
drafted?
people who are not even able to access the lawyer, a lawyer or an advocate, draft the agreement for sale themselves. And it's a one-page document where they sign 2 people, there are no witnesses.
Yeah.
So you can't even, when you go to court with that document, you can't be able to state whether it's
How do
valid
you
or
ascertain
not.
it was even a sale?
Yeah.
And even in the rural areas, you'll hear of wazee wanakuja wanauza shamba. As much as you are selling land through wazees, it is not an oral contract that we talk about it, let's agree as men, and this land is sold by the end of the meeting.
And then one
you
other
have
thing,
to put it down.
it is provided by law that conveyancing agreements must be written.
And written,
So they can't be oral agreements.
They can't be oral.
So that's what we'll be talking about. And it's not just land, it's also to do with apartments. People nowadays fear buying apartments because you wonder, are you getting a title? If I'm on the 8th floor, what title do I have? So we'll be talking about sectional properties,
Leases.
about leases, how you get a title when you own an apartment, what are your rights under the same, do you have rights of common areas, such things. And can this be revoked? Can someone just come and chase you out? What happens when the lease expires?
And also I think also we can talk about the off-plan aspect of purchase of property. Where it's a development, you're buying into the development. But at the end of the development, you know that you'll have your apartment. How should the sale agreement be? What are the aspects should be covered? What are the completion documents? All those things.
Vacant possession. They are not complicated terms. If you hear us talk about, we'll expound on them. So for today, it's just about introduction, mainly what we'll be looking at. The other issue we can maybe touch on will be contract. That is, and contracts are almost in every other.
There are many types of contracts.
Yes, and we interact with contracts almost on a daily. Like for example, we all must get employed at some point.
Do you know you enter into a contract each time you purchase something at the supermarket?
Buy or sell of goods, contracts, such things, and what entails it, what acceptance of. But we don't want to go into details. We'll just be as we said, some basic knowledge. So when you are employed, what are the basic rights that you must have?
Your boss say that you won't go on sick leave. You're so sick, and the boss is like,
are you entitled to the annual leave?
Annual maternity leave, paternity leave for men.
And also the important aspects about employment is how an employment contract must not just be in writing. It can be implied.
Yeah.
Because some people take advantage of that. Like, did I give you any contract? I just give you money at the end of the month, and that's it. So what are you talking about rights under the employment contract or under the Employment Act? I don't know you. You are not entitled to leave. Do you know even the basic employer, like the house helps, are entitled to even house leave, to annual leave? That is because they are under employment, and
the maternity leave.
Yes, all those rights under the Employment Act you are entitled to. We shall look more into them.
From conveyancing to criminal to civil, what happens when you haven't been paid? You gave somebody a debt. They have refused with it. What are your recourses?
What happens when you don't pay rent? Should they come and close the door, put 10 padlocks there and chase you away?
Also ethics.
Do you have any
We'll be talking about when you're dealing with advocates, what happens when your advocate decides not to take on your case anymore, and we are in the middle of it, what happens?
Might even be giving advice to those who want to pursue the law career. What it just entails to become a lawyer, or what process.
What to consider.
Yes, the process.
It's tough. Especially to the students.
It's not a 4-year thing,
who are now even aspiring to go to the Kenya School of Law. In fact, we went through it. Luckily, we passed the first round of the 3 of us. And we are saying luckily because
it's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, it's tough. So we'll also be advising on, if you want your child to pursue law, then what does it take? Is it something you just force onto someone? Or is it something to...
is law a sure course in Kenya, like medicine? Do people go tamaking?
Is it more of the passion, or is it just you want them to do because you hear it's a prestigious
course to do, or you want it to be called learned friend?
By the end of it all, you might not find it as prestigious. As people think it's not as prestigious, but there is hard work in it. You have to work hard for you to get the prestige. It's not just you sitting down and the money comes. So this is the important aspect where we'll respond to your issues. So remember, this is an online channel, so we want you to leave your comments down there.
You can
any issue you are facing, a friend is facing, any legal,
like us to address.
That's what we'll measure on. In fact, we'll always, if we get many questions or concerns from people, we'll always spare some time in our sessions, every session, like 10 minutes or 20, just to respond to all those comments. Because we are doing it for you. Actually, as we know these things, and what we want is you to understand. So if you ask questions, that is what will be of priority to us. Answering you and getting to just give the right feedback. So let it be interactive. We hope that when you get to see our channel, you'll also inform your friends about it. If someone is in need, refer them to us. Let them see what we do, what our advice we give, and maybe they can subscribe, and just tell a friend to help another.
You can support this channel by liking, clicking the like button, subscribing, clicking that button
below.
It's like a button.
So we'll also have other platforms. We are looking
the
forward
website.
To,
it's coming up very soon,
and also probably a Facebook page.
You can find us on LinkedIn as I'm not yet on LinkedIn myself. You?
Andrew
Faith Kaberia.
On Facebook also.
Andrew Mutiso.
Faith Kaberia.
I'm not on Facebook.